Kia ora everybody, welcome back
Welcome back.
to Hamiora Brothers. Talking about fascia today. It's a topic that is pretty important to me. I'm very enthusiastic about it. Hummy J, thoughts on fascia?
Well, it's probably something that we only touch on very briefly. It might get a bit overlooked, particularly for people in our fields. If you've ever done personal training, sports science, strength and development, it's starting to come into those fields. It's maybe a lot more prominent in the massage and massage, physio, and the
Yoga circles, communities?
the remedial fields, the fields where there's a pinch more focus on recovery or correction. But it's starting to come into starting to take more of a place in training and in the performance fields. So so this is a bit more of a probably a technical subject, but in a way it kind of comes back to something that's quite intuitive as well. You know,
we use analogies.
A lot of our understanding of how to connect with a lot of the stuff we do in our training in a way is working trains, fascial trains, which are just like, you know, big connecting lines of muscle,
Connective
bags.
tissue.
I know you'd be able to explain this better, but I'd say fascia could be sort of simply defined as like a covering that goes all around your muscles from head to toe. Almost like if you glad wrap around your body or tape or like, it's connective tissue.
If you had some mince and you wrapped some glad wrap around it, you know, the mince would be the muscle and the glad wrap would be the fascia.
You see it in a chicken breast. You see the thin layer.
Yes.
Almost looks like plastic.
So what would you say would be the signs of tight fascia or fascial issues?
Lack of mobility.
In essence, our tightness is fascia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because muscles are pretty simple. We always think about muscle, but it's like, well, the muscle's fine. It's just the meat ready to do what it does. The fascia is what is degenerating our positions.
Yeah.
Or it's party to it. So we adapt to poor postures. And guess what? The fascia covers those meat bags, and it's keeping you there. It's not the muscle keeping you there.
Yeah.
In essence, it's the bags and the bones pulling us there. So we always seen it, but
As opposed to thinking like the body being 256 individual muscles, you think of it as one continuous line of fascia with 256 pockets. You know, it's a continuous web, and they call it deep, dense fibrous connective tissue. We can have loose connective tissue. Fascia's become quite a buzzword in a lot of different circles, especially yoga, and there's a lot of different journals or committees on fascia to define what exactly it is.
Different interpretations.
Yeah, but effectively it is connective tissue. If you think of your body having four main ingredients, being the bones, the muscles, the organs, and the stuff that connects it all together, you think the connective tissue is your fascia. Yeah. One of the coolest things to know about it is the longer it spends time in a position, your body is trying to help, and it's thinking, okay, we'll try to stick ourselves in this position.
So hold that adaptive positions.
I'll start to adhere and kind of glue that fascia into that position, because you're trying to help. You're telling us like, I'm going to be in this position for 8 hours a day.
Correct.
So get comfortable here.
Yeah, it makes sense to tighten up and be there, right? Rather than
So symptoms of the modern condition, right?
Yeah.
And what are our common ones? And we all see them. The head pulled forward. What we call internal rotation, or anterior pull of our shoulders. So office work, sitting, devices. Those are our three big common threads there. The other one is a tilt in our hips. Yeah, and that's from sitting as well. So the bum turns off and it tucks under. Because it doesn't. That's right. You get that duck ass, you know. So yeah, and we get a shortening of the front abdominals. Yeah, we get the rib cage pulling into here. So these are our common adaptive.
And it's a general atrophication or weakness in the body.
Yes.
Yeah, like.
And we spent, why is yoga popular?
Yeah.
Right? Because people are trying to. This feels wrong. It is wrong. It's creating issues, and they're searching for a way to alleviate it.
Release.
Correct.
Suddenly they can breathe again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We are also so that's that's not your spine. That's not your muscles doing that. It's your fascia. Is it your muscles doing it? Well, a little bit, because your muscles have to fire, but they are surrounded by the fascia, which holds these adaptive things, right, and these trains.
There's different layers of it.
That's right.
Those layers are meant to slide on each other quite, smoothly. If you stop moving, it'll start to stick itself. It makes little collagen binds in between the layers of fascia. Usually when you wake up and you have a nice big stretch, there's a video talking about the fuzz. It's talking about breaking up those little binds that the fascia creates to get back to your optimal movement capacity. If you don't move it and you leave it there, the binds get stronger.
Yes.
They start sticking more and more. You can't slide the muscle over each other.
Yeah.
Going to the gym doesn't necessarily free you from having those problems. Like I'm sure everybody's seen the guys that go into the gym and they do bench press all day. They start here and then they just like, I want a chest, and then they walk out looking like this, like they're carrying shopping bags outside. And then the fascia will tighten up in that position because you've taught it that you like being in this position here. You like that short forward motion.
Yeah. Also, even little things like abdominal flexion movements, maybe not necessarily optimal, tucking in here. Yeah. If anything, we want to learn to connect and stabilize it, get stable here first, and before we manipulate it for whatever purpose. And another, safe to say, more standing, more use of our hips and pulling. Those are probably just 3 little suggestions I'd make. More pulling, more standing, and more hip hinging. So bending, squatting, using your legs.
A variation of movement.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Full range of every joint to release these bound layers of fascia.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'd say you'll have some videos that you'll put up on YouTube on your on page.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So plenty more to come on fascia.
We'll put those links up so that you can get some ideas or some explanations.
I've got a good one to link in with the whole fascia breathing and how they're intertwined. If you think fascia starts to adhere and stick itself in the position that you leave it in, and we've started to sit in that chronic spinal flexion for a long period of time, and our ability to take a full breath depends on us being able to expand the rib cage to its full capacity. The breath is going to be the only thing that will be able to start to unstick the deep layers of fascia that have become adhered, especially around the organs and different layers in your abdomen. So, like at some point you're going to have to learn to, expand the balloon on the inside of your body to get that full range. A good way to think of it is a can, or like crushing a plastic bottle, just blow it back out. Breathing and fascia are, they're quite interdependent. Codependent.
Yeah, I suppose today we just wanted to, bring awareness to this idea that there are these different types of tissues, connective organs, muscles, but also raise the idea that it's not just muscles, it's not just skeleton, it's this fascial, this bag that surrounds.
It is an organ.
It is, yeah, it really is.
The biggest sensory organ in the body, more so than our skin. And you can feel where you get touched anywhere on your body. You can learn to get more of a conscious awareness of these different lines of fascia through the body.
Probably the best way to introduce people to some fascia awareness is when you get a massage or when you do some rolling, and you'll feel areas where you have Like for example, right here, I'm touching one right now. We have a sensory awareness of tightness. That's not muscle. That is a fascia spasm. That is my fascia locked up a little bit along this region, wherever that train may exist, and it's decided to hold tension there based on stress from my day-to-day activities. But it's from my training. I know it's from my training. But that's that's an introduction for anyone who's had massage. Oh, that's really sore. It's not muscles. That's fascia. Okay.
And that tension is creating a lack of integrity somewhere
Correct.
else in the
That's
body.
right. Yeah.
It's
Taking away
Yes.
somewhere else.
Yeah. It's being realised here. It may not necessarily be here. It potentially is, but it maybe not isn't. But it's also reducing. Absolutely, it's reducing the function somewhere else. Yeah. But we'll leave it there because that topic can get quite scientific, can get quite
we go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. But and we're still learning plenty about that stuff as well. There's a lot to learn there.
There's more and more every day in the
Absolutely. Yeah.
field of science.
Yeah.
Come for your fascia.
Yeah. Science, fascia, things.
Sure.
Mean, sure.